recently, Maryland Governor Wes Moore, the first black governor in the state of Maryland, pardoned about 175,000 people for marijuana convictions. Most of those are misdemeanors. And we have some people here joining us because they have a little bit of a critique. They're looking at making it a little bit stronger.
We're joined by Attorney Brandon Wyatt, Delegate Malcolm Ruff, and Councilman Martin Mitchell.
We'll start with you, Attorney Wyatt.
Okay, yeah, I think the first thing I said in the interview was like, hey, let's not be haters here. This is a huge deal. Mm-hmm. However, it does not have the impact that people think it will.
Wow.
And that's important to note, right, that this was an amazing feat to get a conversation started. However, in specific states like Maryland, getting your record actually expunged, getting that charge off your record is actually very difficult if you have any other charges, whether it was in Maryland or another state that happened after you have that cannabis charge. Even worse, most minorities aren't stopped and simply given a possession charge. Unfortunately, due to judicial discretion, unimpactful policing in our communities, we're often given compound charges. So to really have a simple possession charge is extremely difficult. And that affects business owners, that affects citizens alike who want to hire folks but have to now contest with whether they have a charge and whether they're honest enough to disclose. So there's a level of shame with that too. So there's a need to really address this and have the conversation that I believe Governor Moore wanted us to have to make further and deeper impact, which is why I called our good friend Delegate Ruff and Councilman Martin to come talk about grassroots and ground level impact.
Let's talk with you, Delegate Ruff, about that. What is your take?
Thank you guys for having us on. I really appreciate this very important conversation.
Thank you.
I do applaud our governor. He is a great partner of the legislature here in Maryland and the Legislative Black Caucus. We are very, very proud of this piece of progress, the largest pardon in the entire country. But as my brother, Attorney Wyatt, said, it is necessary for us to expand upon this so detrimental to the black community. Criminal record can be both the cause and consequence of poverty and the detrimental effects of employment prospects for an estimated about 25% of working-age Marylanders. Every year, about 15,000 Marylanders are released from state prisons and struggle to secure a job, to find a place to live and re-enter society. So my bill from last session, House Bill 523, and it really is about creating discretion for the court to allow charges like distribution of marijuana in Maryland. There are folks in the market now who have records who should be able to really engage their franchise and to expand in business in the cannabis industry, but they are being held back. They are being discriminated against in a market now that is legal, where they have charges that are not expungable by right. And I really hope that we can build partnership with the governor's office we were talking about today, really expand and make transformative moves for a larger amount of Marylanders and make an example for the country.
Yes. The people who are pardoned, if they're still in jail, how does that affect them?
Well, it has very, very little effect as a pardon if you're in jail. I think that's one of the major issues, because if you're in jail right now for just simple possession, the rarity of that is very low in our community, just to be honest, as noted. Councilman Mitchell, please. You guys said great things. We need the judge to have discretion. People need to remember that expungements still need to happen thereafter the pardons if they do affect them. But I think the conversation should be, after this, it's a great first step, expanding, who the pardon affects. I remember saying that we should start looking at some felonies, especially if they were of non-violent nature. Like, Malcolm Ruff has mentioned in distribution. They were just legal drug dealers before their time. Before we legalized, right? They furthered the market, the legacy market we talk about. So
exactly.
And hopefully, like you all said, this can expound upon offenses that are nonviolent in nature. Most of the people who are locked down, particularly increasingly black women, are incarcerated for nonviolent drug offenses.
Right.
So we'd like to thank you all for joining us, Attorney Brandon Wyatt, Delegate Malcolm Ruff of Baltimore, and Councilman Martin Mitchell of Laurel. How can people reach out to y'all to find out more about this? Let's start with you, Attorney Brandon Wyatt.
For me personally, my handle is easy. I'm at BCB Mastermind, Bravo Charlie Bravo Mastermind. It's a free education program and training for those affected worse by the war on drugs. And we travel the country, award folks, and provide free training for minorities entering in the cannabis space.